Mr. and Mrs. Bevan, you built a little shopping center.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Is this the first time you built something like this?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Where was it?
It's in a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas.
How long did it take you to build?
We have 1 unit left to complete. We started construction last July.
So it's not yet finished.
No, 4 of the 5 units are finished.
On the inside. On the inside.
Yes.
Do you have a photograph of it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. So the outside shell is complete on the whole thing, but one interior store is not
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
finished. Okay. Now, you rented one of the stores.
Yes, ma'am.
For what kind of business?
It's a clothing store.
Is this your first clothing store?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
23.
For you. What had you done before?
I was a secretary for my grandfather's business.
Anybody help you set this up?
No.
Did it yourself?
Yes.
What was the rent on the space that you rented
It
from the
was
plaintiffs?
$1,000 a month.
For how many square feet?
800.
Okay, now, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that Ms. Wright left, broke her lease, and you're suing her for $5,000. She says that she did, in fact, leave, but you actually constructively broke the lease by not providing sufficient heat, which made it uninhabitable by her, her customers, her son, who I assume she brings to work with her, was how old?
A year old.
And she gave you notice that the heat was insufficient. You failed to rectify it, and that thereby it was a constructive eviction. She has a counterclaim, and the counterclaim is for loss of revenue, although I'm not
Yes,
so
ma'am.
sure you can prove that. Can I see a copy of the lease? Thank you. This doesn't have a commence date.
It does on the signature page, we wrote the commencement date. And then it's near the end, about 4 or 5 pages back. We signed the lease previous to the construction being complete, and we did not start the commencement date until the CO was issued by the city.
Official start date, January 7th, 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you signed that?
I did sign it, but I didn't have a commencement date on my copy.
I'd like to see your copy. Well, you signed the lease on 1/7.
I signed the... Sorry.
I'm just saying, when you signed it, you didn't date it?
No, ma'am.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Well, it's clear to me that you wrote this in, one or both of you wrote this in afterwards, the 2 dates, and lease official start date is 1/7 on yours because you gave her a copy and it's not there.
Correct. We did not date it, unfortunately, on the date of the lease.
Well, then you shouldn't give this to me if you say this is the lease. And you gave it to me and you said that we signed it on the official lease date, which was misleading. I'm just letting you know it's misleading.
I'm sorry.
Good. Now, you moved in on what date?
January 7th.
So that was the de facto start date.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the first time that you gave them notice that the heat was defective?
Right before I moved in, I had let them know that there was an issue with the heater.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is before the move-in date.
Yes, ma'am. That
This
was
is
on...
December?
Yes, ma'am.
I could bring in a space heater up there.
Excuse me, Judge?
Okay, so before you moved in, there was clearly a problem with the heating system. That was in December. After you moved in on January 7th, show me when the next time was that you complained to the Bevans about the heat. And by the way, Ms. Wright, when did you move out?
I moved out on March 24th, I believe.
Well, I have a text on February 2nd that says, my heater is blowing just cold air again, which suggests that she had told you about this before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.